What's good? What's good, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of The Urban Platform Speaks. Make sure to like and subscribe to this channel as you tune in and check out the comments. Check out the commentary. I want to react to some statements that Chris Broussard made about Donovan Mitchell, right? And I have always said that Donovan, like guards who are like 6'2" and under, it's just so hard for these guys to have success as far as like winning championships for teams, right? And the reason is, and it's the same thing with like Brunson and Maxey. These guys have to, like the shorter guards have to work so hard to get a shot off. And the deeper you go into the playoffs, the harder it is for you to score, and the less efficient you are as a scorer, right? So you have to be like most of the time these smaller guards are going to be volume shooters, and their efficiency go down because it's so much harder for them to shoot a high percentage and get good looks when you have somebody playing you who is taller, more athletic, and just as fast, or sometimes even faster than you are. And it's just hard for somebody 6 feet tall or 6'2" to just dominate the way they do in a regular season, or had the same kind of success that they do in the regular season, right? And I know, like, even coming up in this draft, I forgot the kid name, but I forgot he played. It was a big scandal about him when he checked himself out of a game. I think he's only about like 6'2", dynamic scorer, right? Where's he at? Is he at Kentucky? Or is he at I forgot his name, but anyway, he's going in the draft this year, right? And those are the kind of guards that I would really stay away from. Like if I was a GM, I would stay away from guards who are like 6'2" and under, especially as a franchise ball player. Like I don't get why these GMs draft guards like Trey Young, thinking that these guys are um, going to lead you to to a championship, right? It hasn't happened a lot. And Donovan Mitchell is just another example of how tough it is for a guard um, under 6'2" to lead a team, to the championship and get a ring with these guys. Especially being your number one.
Donovan Mitchell. Now look, Donovan, I'm a historian of the game. I don't kill a 6'2" guard for not leading teams to championships. All right. There have been 3 in the history of the NBA who have done it. Gus Williams for Seattle in 1979. And it's arguable, was he the best player? You had Dennis Johnson. You had Isaiah Thomas, of course, to 2 championships. And then Steph Curry. That's it. And Steph is 6'3", but that's it for small guards. Even in this era of parity, where we haven't had a repeat champion in 7 years, it hasn't been guards other than Steph leading, or small guards leading teams to championships. So I don't kill you for that. For you, you've been a little down the last 6 games, 20 points a game, not as efficient as usual, and not carrying your team. So the question is, if you guys lose this series, will you be in Cleveland next year? But you got to start playing better if the Cavs are going to have any chance to beat Detroit. And it's on you. It's not Harden expected to carry him, not Mobley or Allen. You are expected to carry the Cavs.
Okay, so my thing with that is, my thing with that is, I don't really blame Donovan Mitchell, right? Because a player, because of their competitiveness, is going to want to, they're going to think they're going to be able to be that one to get the team over the top, right? But general managers, people who know the history of the game, if you have, if you got a guard who is under 6 feet tall, then you got to look at the history of the game. How did Isaiah Thomas win championships with the Detroit Pistons? Defense, right? Defense was their calling card. Like they used to hold teams to under 90 points a game, right? Night in and night out. And so you have to play that level of defense. Now, I thought that Cleveland they played pretty good defense, at least last year. This year, their defense was okay, but they had to have exceptional defense in order to get to a position where as though they can, they can reach or go deep into the playoffs or possibly reach the championship. And so it's on the general manager. Like if you draft this kind of player, then you know that you have to set your team up the same way. And I know it's a different era of basketball, but you have to set your team up the same way that the Detroit Pistons was set up back in the bad boy days. For instance, look at Allen Iverson. Like when Allen Iverson went to, he took the Philadelphia 76ers to the championship against the Lakers. That team was Allen Iverson was the scorer. They didn't win, but it was just a defensive team. That was their calling card, was defense, right? They just ran into a Laker team that just was a juggernaut. But they were set up like that because they knew that if they were going to have a chance to get to the championship, then defense would have to be their calling card because they could not, because Allen Iverson is a volume shooter. They could not, think that they're going to trade baskets with somebody and score, 110, 120 points a game. It wasn't going to happen. So they were going to have to slow other people down and keep the game close. And, that's how they got into that championship. Now, I don't know anything about the other guy he mentioned, like Gus Johnson and all that. But even Steph Curry team played really good defense. They had Andre Iguodala. What's the other guy? They had Barnes and all those guys. They had some really good defenders on that team. So they played some tough defense too. So when you have small guys like that, your defense has to be exceptional because you have to stop other teams from scoring. If you're not going to shoot a high percentage, then you gotta you can't allow your opponents to shoot a high percentage. So I don't really blame Donovan Mitchell. I just think it's these general managers. Donovan Mitchell looks in the playoffs the way a lot of these guards look when they get into the playoffs because their shooting percentages go down because it's so hard for them to score. The same thing with with Brunson, right? I always say that Brunson, like the further you get into the playoffs, the deeper you get. And you see how hard Brunson worked. It's going to be hard for him to score. When he gets deep into the playoffs. And imagine if the Knicks make it all the way to the championship, which they might this year because I don't know. I think it's either between Detroit and New York. But if the Knicks make it and they go up against OKC or either the Spurs, man, it's gonna be hard. Look at all the length and the athleticism, right? Brunson they have tall guys who can stay in front of him, number one. Then number two, they have these guys are long athletic. So if Brunson bump them, these guys, they can recover enough to affect the shot and make it so tough for him. If he beats somebody, he get to the basket, then he got to deal with Wembanyama, and they have another guy that's a 7-footer. So it's going to be tough, man. It's just so tough to win with a guy that's 6'2" and under in the league. You have to structure your team a certain kind of way. New York's defense, in my opinion, I think needs to be better if they got to stop teams and play more physical, if they want to have a chance to win a ring. But that's my take on it. I don't really think that Cleveland should be able that they should blame Donovan Mitchell. I think they should put the right people around him. They should play better defense and be able and have to stop teams because if you want to build around a guy that's under that's 6'2" and under, you got to play exceptional defense even at at the NBA level. So that's my take on it. Make sure to like and subscribe to the channel. Also, don't forget to leave a comment. And with that being said, check you all out in the next video. Peace.